Welcome to the behind the scenes for our homemade Iron Man music video. We've never done anything like this before. It's the first time we've done an original song. Usually we do shot-for-shot recreations of stuff, but you know, we had the success with the Iron Man one. You guys loved it, and we have the costume just sitting around, so we decided, hey, why not take some of this cool stuff that we have and bring new life to it and come up with something totally original. So let me know in the comments if you guys like this and if you want to see more of them. But here's a look at how we put it all together. The first step when you're doing a music video is, of course, to create the song. So this is an original song that I wrote myself. This is a demo of the Iron Man song. Just finished writing it. Wanted it to be a big piano ballad. We wanted it to sound like just a very lovely, generic love song. Maybe he's singing this to Pepper Potts, and then you quickly realize that he's singing the song to himself, to Iron Man, because Tony Stark is obsessed with himself and in love with himself. Try to make it funny, make it compelling, and something that we could shoot a real fun, kind of cheesy music video to. I made the decision to make it more of just a love song rather than try and talk about the specifics of the whole Iron Man franchise. I mean, you could do a whole song just about Iron Man and the stuff that happened in the plots of the movies, but that's not what I was going for. We really wanted to just make a specific kind of funny, epic love song. One of the early lyrics that was a big inspiration as I was writing it was when I came up with the line that says, "I'm iron on the outside, but inside I'm only a man." That just seemed like really funny and epic and very dramatic. So normally on homemade movies, I do the music just using my voice, but this time, since we're doing a for real song with a for real music video, I'm recording the music entirely, which means the piano, some orchestration, and some other instrumentation. And I'm just going to lay it down a temporary track. You're not going to hear this really later, but it's just for me to now play the instruments too. So I'll use this beat as a foundation to build all the other tracks later, starting with the piano, adding in some strings and some drums and whatever. And I actually used the keyboard for this, which seems a little weird since I do have the piano, but this is an old beat-up piano from the 60s, and it has a very charming sound. But for this, I wanted a very, very crisp, clean, studio, polished kind of recording sound. My heart glows. And then I laid down the vocals, and I'm not the greatest singer, but I just do it little by little. I'll do each verse a few times until I feel like I got it a couple times, move on to the next section, record that a few times, and then I sit down and pick out the best takes of each thing and really just Frankenstein the whole thing together. So if you're doing home recording, that's a good way to do it. Just record it a bunch all over the whole song and then pick out the best takes. Alright, so I'm getting ready to lay down the strings. Good like low sounds, really heavy. And then some nice high sounds. So I'll pepper those in on top of the tracks that I already have. Normally when people record on the computer, they send it in through like a MIDI signal and then manipulate it, or do it all on the computer. I still perform everything live. It's kind of a weird way of doing it, but I love the sounds on this thing. So even though it's coming from a synthesizer, I'm still doing the recording in a very analog sort of way. I just layer it and perform everything manually. I'm not doing any manipulation of the notes afterwards. It's all sort of just like a live performance still. There you go. If you have any other questions on how I actually recorded the song, I'm happy to answer back in the comments, so let me know. But once I had this whole thing recorded, it was time to make the video. So to start the music video out, we wanted to get a lot of coverage of Tony playing the piano and Iron Man playing the piano. So we moved my piano into the middle of the room and hung up sheets all the way around so we could shoot lots of different directions and it would just be black. And we set up some dramatic lighting. If you want to get really dramatic lighting, a tip is to do it kind of from behind, sort of like this one is now, where it sort of hits you from behind. And when you add smoke to that, if you have a smoke machine, it looks really, really cool. You get the smoke kind of hitting the rays of the light. So we just wanted to play with that and kind of make it over the top and a little bit cheesy. That's part of the fun. The shots where Iron Man is playing the piano look really cool, but those giant gloves did not sound good on the piano. So luckily you don't hear it, but here, you can take a listen. Then when we cleared the piano out, we did some other stuff in the blacked out room here. Some things were specifically planned, like the few opening shots just to like tell the story correctly. But after that, we just do the whole song all the way through from start to finish. So that way later I could pick out which spots I wanted to use.
Yes, I'm singing the song about myself to myself.
The approach that we took while shooting this music video too was a little different than normally how we do stuff on homemade movies. Usually we're doing just handheld cameras and kind of like a fake dolly move or a fake jib move or something. But this time we really wanted to record it very professionally and make it look like $1,000,000. So we got out the real equipment. We got out my jib so the camera can get these big sweeping shots, and then there's not a lot of room in my house for a big dolly, so we didn't use that, but I do have a slider that I built just to get sort of smoother motion than we usually do. We did a pretty cool camera trick where it starts from behind the mirror. You see Tony, and then the camera whips around and you see that Tony is singing to Iron Man in the mirror, and he takes the mask off and it's still me.
We want to land on this, on that beat where it's like, where love land is Iron Man. Yep, think around there.
So to do that, we just did it one time where I'm Tony, and as the camera whips around, it cuts to a different take where I'm dressed as Iron Man, so that way when it gets to the mirror and I take the mask off, I'm dressed as Iron Man.
Shouldn't use my left hand though. I went like this.
That was perfect.
For the shot where there's 3 different versions of Iron Man singing together in a choir, we did a very simple split screen technique, and we never do any visual tricks like that in our shot-for-shot stuff, but this is a music video, so we figured we could take the liberty to do a couple extra tricks. We shot one on the side, one in the middle, one on the other side, and just kind of composited them together. We wanted to get some shots of Iron Man sitting on the roof for the sunset, so we waited for just the right moment to go up onto the roof and got some really cool shots of the sun going down behind the trees in the distance.
So that means putting the full Iron Man suit on and sitting on the rooftop.
It's a little bit steep up there, so walking around in the full Iron Man costume is a little tricky because you can't move very well, but nobody got hurt, everything was fine.
Just gotta walk backwards. It's easier that way.
And we did draw a crowd of neighborhood kids that noticed that Iron Man was sitting up on the roof, so we got kind of a crowd going watching me sing this ridiculous song on my roof. We got a show called Homemade Movies. Just check it out. Yeah, on YouTube. So when you're shooting a music video like this, you just have the song playing back on a small speaker. That way we can just sing along to it or do the piano movements along to it or whatever. We did do a really cool trick that I've seen in music videos before where you shoot everything in slow motion, but it still lines up with the music.
I'm a genius, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist.
So we're actually shooting the video at 60 frames per second, and then we play it back at 30 frames per second, which means everything is in slow motion. The song that I'm singing to is actually playing back twice as fast.
I'm singing the song about myself to myself.
So that way when you slow that back down, my mouth is still lined up to the normal song.
I love you, Iron Man, that's me. Yes, I'm singing the song about myself to myself.
For some of the shots where Tony and Iron Man are frolicking around together, it's Ben who is wearing the Iron Man suit, and then I'm just Tony.
This time Ben is my stunt Iron Man double because we have like pretty much the exact same body type, so it'll be seamless.
And so we just pranced around and acted like we were in love. Did kind of classic love montage stuff. The Iron Man costume is of course left over from when we did the shot-for-shot remake of the Iron Man trailer. You know, it's just cardboard and red clothes underneath, and if you want to see more about the full build for that and how we made it all, check out the behind the scenes for the homemade Iron Man trailer. For the arc reactor in Tony's chest, it's just a little LED tap light that I just used a rubber band to put in the shirt, and little LED lights in the gloves and LED lights in the eyes, and those are all things we used in our Iron Man trailer, but they looked really cool in this music video because of the way they react with the smoke and the lights and everything. So in case you're wondering, I actually have no formal music training whatsoever. Kind of taught myself over the years, so I encourage you to get out there and get a cheap guitar or a cheap keyboard and just start messing around with it and see if you can write your own songs. It's really fun.
I hold the straight face.
Well, and that's how we put together our homemade Iron Man music video. Let us know if you want to see some more music videos and what movie characters or movies you want to see us try and do. And as always, let us know what other scenes and trailers you want to see us do shot-for-shot recreations of. So check out the karaoke sing-along version in the link below of this song. It's pretty fun. And subscribe to CineFix because we have new episodes every Tuesday. And yeah, we'll see you next week.
Oh, it's beautiful. What's the name of it?
It's called Benny the Piano Song.
Ben is classically trained. This is his latest masterpiece.
We're having a rooftop Iron Man party.
Hey, what's going on up here, guys?
Having a party.
No one told me.
Hiding behind a tree because Iron Man's getting his POV shot, and I can't be seen in the background.